We are having the Board of License Commissioners meeting last of the year. This is December 27th. And we have a very short agenda. And before we start, just so I can read into the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. With that, I'm going to jump around and we will do agenda item number 2 first. I see Jerry Hanley is here. These are both of them, right? Okay. So, hearing to cancel the common victual all alcohol restaurant license held by L. Bill Inc., DBA The Holy Ground, 1600 Hancock Street, Mass General Law, 138, Section 77, failure to conduct business, aka a pocket license, Mr. Gerard Hanley. Jerry, why don't you come on up? And I have your letter here, and I'll read it into the record on the application that you wrote to renew the signing. To whom it may concern, the business L. Bill Inc., DBA The Holy Ground, is no longer located at 1600 Hancock Street, Quincy, Mass. That location was taken by eminent domain by the city of Quincy to facilitate a new road through the Quincy downtown. The liquor license attached to the premise owned by L. Bill Inc. is currently under purchase and sale agreement. The proposed new owners have encountered neighborhood opposition in their efforts to open a new restaurant on Washington Street in Quincy. The neighborhood concerns were more to do with parking and traffic rather than relocation of the license. L. Bill Inc., through our lawyer, Attorney Lou Cassis, and the sales broker Atlantic Licensed Brokers, Mr. Daniel Newcomb, has made numerous attempts to bring the buyer, the neighborhood association, and the local councilor, Ms. Margaret LaForest, together to work out a compromise. The buyer has not yet made an application to come before the Quincy Licensing Board for a hearing. It is our belief that they will do so soon. Therefore, we are asking for the license to be renewed to facilitate their application and transfer. Respectfully, Jerry Hanley, owner, L. Bill. So, Jerry, this license has been a pocket license for about 8 years now?
At least 7, 8 years.
At least 7, 8 years? I mean, definition of a pocket license is Section 77. The licensing authorities may, after hearing a reasonable opportunity, therefore, cancel any license issued under this chapter if the license ceases to conduct a licensed business. The local licensing authorities determine that a license should be canceled as foresaid. The license may appeal to the commission as if such authorities had refused to grant the license upon an original application. Therefore, and the decision of the commission upon such appeal shall be final. So whatever action we take here, you can appeal it to the ABCC. And if you do appeal any action that is taken here, that license will be put aside till the appeal has been heard. So it's not going to go anywhere until after the appeal process.
I just want to go on the record regarding this license, just a little history into it. The Holy Ground, when I bought it, was the old colonial 1600.
Yes.
We spent a lot of money, substantial amount of money doing it over. It was a viable business, very viable business, was turning over well in excess of $1 million a year. We had a long-term lease at reasonable rates. This was not a distressed license. Like, we didn't close because of lack of business or anything. We closed to facilitate the road, which was supposedly for the greater good of the city of Quincy.
Were you compensated by the city for that?
We were compensated. They don't compensate for the license.
No.
You're compensated for
all the renovations that
the business. They have like some kind of a complicated setup for eminent domain. But the license you were allowed to retain. Now, at the time, a license in Quincy was a pretty valuable commodity. This was before the streetworks. Pied Pipers came in.
This is going back to 2000.
2003.
Yeah.
No, 2008. 2008. Because I bought it in 2002. Yeah. So a licensing would have been pretty valuable, especially with the way the downtown was supposedly to go. So anybody that was coming into the downtown would have been looking for a liquor license, and that was one of the very few that was available. Might have been the only one that was available at the time. So it was a pretty valuable commodity. Then Streetworks came in, and talked to
In 2012,
2012
yeah.
that they got their
They came in
22
and
licenses.
did the LDA, which is the Streetworks came in, but the city went before the state legislature in 2012 to increase the number of liquor
Right.
licenses in the downtown area. That gave you 4 years
But they were
to sell that license because it was valuable at that point.
right. But I think there was talk about looking for licenses long before 2012. They just didn't go. They
Well, it
had
still
to
had
go.
to be approved. There's
Yeah.
always, I mean,
It
just
went before
because
the
there's
city
talk,
council.
it doesn't.
No, but I mean, the thing is, once the talk was out there, and if you go back, like I said at the previous meeting, if you go back and you look at, not in the downtown, but out in the neighborhoods, how many actually new restaurants or bars have opened in the last 10 years? 0. So there was nobody looking for a license.
Well,
Anybody that was looking
So
for
how does that make a license value?
What? It would
If
have.
no one's looking for a license.
It should have made it. It should have made it. It would have been. It would be pretty valuable if Streetworks hadn't, if they hadn't come up with the 22 liquor licenses, right?
Just
Just-
to clarify,
The city came up with that. Streetworks did.
It was the Streetworks that were.
Yeah, but the
that were
Streetworks doesn't go into the state and say, we want.
they didn't, but it was
the city council did that.
Yeah, but it was Streetworks that went before the city council and proposed it.
Yeah,
I remember I was there
Right.
the same night, and he said if it was up to him, he would have looked for 50 licenses.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
So, like, that was on top of the 22 or 24 original liquor licenses that were in the downtown at the time,
Right,
which would have made it like 70 licenses.
yeah.
Every second
So,
stowaway.
I'm
Anyway,
not, I'm not sure what you're looking for us to do.
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
just, what I'm saying is that I got the impression at the last meeting that you guys thought that I was like sitting on this and
Well,
didn't
it's not that
act
you're
on it.
sitting on it, it's just.
I couldn't
no,
move it.
No one wants it.
I know. I mean, and it's not like I didn't try.
No, I agree 100%, you did
Because
try.
before you guys, you could ask the previous chairman, Joe Scheele.
Yeah,
Anybody that came looking, he always directed them in you know,
Yeah.
because nobody wanted it hanging around here. So I just want you guys to know that I did try to move it.
oh, trust me, this is no reflection on you or your business that you do down at Patty Barry's.
But they're totally separate.
You do a great job. We want to have you in the downtown. We want you to be successful. But there's no place
I know.
for this license right now. I mean, if 1600 was there right now and there was a building there, we could look at this, especially if you still had a lease or something like that. But there's not even a structure there.
I know.
So it's kind of different from, you know, the Beachcomber and the, you know, Villa Rosa, where
Yeah.
there are buildings there still owned by the people who own the liquor licenses, and they're gonna be doing something with it.
Right.
I'll tell you something, if next December comes around and the Villa Rosa isn't open, and the Beachcomber isn't open, and they haven't been sold yet, we're gonna have them in. You got 8 years because we took it by eminent domain, and I believe you're only supposed to get 3 years to hold it, to get rid of it.
I believe me.
And we've allowed it to, you know, roll over, but,
I know. And
Yeah.
really, I mean, and I don't have any issue with that. Actually, you know, I appreciate that. But I just want to let the board know.
So you're just looking basically to clear your name?
Uh,
You're not looking to keep the license?
Well, I'm not sure, to be very honest with you, with these people. You know, we've given them lots of opportunity to come before the board.
Mm.
I mean, all they have to do is come before the board and look for a straight up or down vote. Really, it has nothing to
But
do
you
with
haven't
it.
heard from them in a long time.
Huh?
You haven't heard from them in quite some time.
We've been chasing them. I mean, we really have. I mean, it's, you know, I had my lawyer here the last day. We really have been chasing them, but
I mean, to
there's
keep the license, I don't know that there's any value in it now anyway.
probably not.
So, you know,
But,
I don't know.
I mean,
And
they've tied us up for
Personally
a
speaking,
year.
I know you run a good business, and if you were to reapply for a license and find a location, I would have no problem
Oh, yeah,
holding the license in
100%.
favor.
Right.
You know, you'd run a nice place where you are, and so you've got a good reputation.
I think we just got shuffled around by these people, and what they're saying is, oh, there's neighborhood opposition. Well, you really couldn't tell unless you came before the board, and then look for a straight up or down.
Mm.
If the board said no, well, then they could look for their deposit back. There's
What-
an issue over their deposit right now.
Did the location have to go before the ZBA, the new location down on Washington Street?
That will eventually have to go before the
If
ZBA.
if they wanted to put a restaurant in?
Yes, they would probably be able to put a restaurant, but it would need relief.
From the ABC, from the ZBA,
Yeah.
before it even came to us.
Yeah,
That's the way we would
That's
say
the
it.
way, yeah. which-
Because I wouldn't want to approve it and then have ZBA, I would not want it until the ZBA had already,
It's an allowed use at that
Yeah.
location, but it would need a finding.
yeah.
Anyway, that's where I am with it.
Well,
That's where-
again, whatever action we take, if we cancel the license, you can appeal it to the ABCC, by all means, if you want to. I encourage you to. We're not gonna get rid of, we're not gonna put this license anywhere until we hear from you whether or not you're gonna appeal it or not. And if you do appeal it, we're gonna put the license aside, it's gonna have your name on it until after the appeal. And then we'll go from there.
Well, the only possible way that I could use it again would be if these people were, if we could somehow convince them to come before the board, get a straight one. And I think that's the only way that they, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that might be
Yeah.
the only way that they can get their money back.
So,
It's been a year.
yeah,
It's been a year. And they were getting it for short.
yeah.
So that's all right.
So-
Thank you guys for your.
Anybody have any comments, questions, audience? Seeing none, board members?
Yeah, I want to reiterate, I don't think it was because we thought you were holding it
I know.
intentionally.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, like, again, as the chief said, as Mr. Duca, and I can speak probably for everybody at the board. You're a great operator. We have no way, you come before us for a license for any other location or forever, you have a great record with us.
Thank you.
So, that's important to know. This has nothing to do with you at
I
all.
understand.
It's just the law of the licenses
I
with
understand.
the ABCC.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Motion, I'd like to, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to cancel the common victual alcoholic restaurant license held by Elville Inc., DBA The Holy Ground, 1600 Hancock Street, pursuant to Mass General Law 138, Section 77, failure to conduct business, AKA pocket license, owned by Mr. Gerard Hanley.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to cancel a common vicular all alcohol restaurant license held by Elville Inc., DBA The Holy Ground, 1600 Hancock Street, by virtue of Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 77, failure to conduct business at the licensed location. Mr. Gerald Hanley, representative. All in favor to, I'll take a roll call vote, all to cancel the license. Deputy Chief Jackson?
Yes.
Yes. Inspector Duca?
Yes.
City Clerk Crispo?
Yes.
Chief Keenan?
Yes.
And I will vote yes too. It's unanimous, 5-0. We'll put the letter out in the mail, and again, you have every right to appeal. And again, no reflection on you, Jerry. You do an absolutely super job. We're very
If
happy
you
to have you
get
here.
to the appeal, then it gives you more time to deal with this other company if in fact they're still interested.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to Lou.
Okay.
They're on vacation this week, so I didn't deal with it. Thank you guys.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And before I go to the second one, I just want to say that we do have Deputy Joe Jackson here, Deputy Chief, and for Joe Barron. Deputy Chief Jackson is an experienced member of the board and has sat in on many hearings. Agenda item number 3. Hearing to cancel the common vicular all alcohol restaurant license held by Tirana Restaurant Inc., DBA Basta, 150 Hancock Street, Mass General Law 138, Section 77, failure to conduct business. Ms. Oleana Hoxolari. And seeing that she is not here, we did send out a certified letter. We had a lot of problems trying to locate this Hoxolari.
I did get in touch with her husband,
Yeah.
who was here the last time.
Yeah, we did have trouble the last time. We've been trying to get in touch with them since probably June or July. We finally have, they did come to the last meeting. They were made aware that this meeting would be held today. When I look at their renewal application, the one of the questions on the renewal form that they must sign is the premises are for business, if not, explain below. We sold the restaurant and we are currently looking for a new location in North Quincy. So the license, the building that they are currently in has been sold, they no longer own the building, so therefore they have no address to operate this CV all alcohol license out of. And seeing how they are not here, I'm assuming that you're not going to contest it, but whatever action we do take here, they'll be notified by mail, and they will also have the opportunity to appeal our decision to the ABCC. With that, any members of the audience have any comments, questions? Seeing none. Board members?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to cancel the common victular all alcoholic restaurant license held by Tirana Restaurant Inc., doing business as Basta, 150 Hancock Street, pursuant to Mass General Law 138, Section 77, failure to conduct business, AKA pocket license, owned by Ms. Oleana Hoxalari.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to cancel the common vicular all alcohol restaurant license held by Toronto Restaurant Inc., DBA Basta, 150 Hancock Street, Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 77, failure to conduct business at the location provided to the board. I'm going to take a roll call vote also on this to cancel the license. Deputy Chief Jackson?
Yes.
Director Duca?
Yes.
Clerk Crispo?
Yes.
Chief Keenan?
Yes.
And I will vote yes also. This license will be canceled. We will forward a letter to Ms. Oleana Hoxalari so that she knows she has the right to appeal to the ABCC, and we will go from there. Very quickly, on agenda item number 1, we have to approve or disapprove the licenses issued under Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 12, all alcohol and wine and malt restaurants, Section 15, all alcohol and wine and malt package store licenses. This is basically to approve the licenses that we are going to be sending into the ABCC so that they know that all of these licenses have been signed, the applications have been filled out. It goes in with our end of the year report that Ms. Manning puts together for the ABCC. So can I just get a vote to approve all of the licenses, that all of the renewal forms that have been turned in?
Would you like a motion?
I would love a motion.
Make a motion to approve all licenses issued under Mass General Law 138, Sections 12, all alcohol and wine and malt restaurants, in Section 15, all alcohol and wine and malt package stores, who have properly signed and properly returned their renewal forms to this office.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve the licenses issued under Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Sections 12, all alcohol and wine malt restaurants, and Section 15, all alcohol and wine and malt package store licenses that were properly filled out and had all their forms properly returned to the city clerk's office. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're all set?
Aye.
No. That is approved 5-0. Last item that we're looking at is we have a calendar that Ms. Manning put together and myself, along with the help of Ms. Crispo, so that we didn't overlap with any of the city council meetings upstairs. I know we have a couple of Mondays off within the first 6 months of the year where we might conflict with council meetings, with licensing board meetings, even though we start at 4. They start at 7 upstairs, sometimes they're 6, 6:30. We still wouldn't want to be stuck here for a late meeting and have the city clerk have to run out to go up to the next meeting. So I'm just looking for a motion to approve the calendar that we gave out for the first 6 months, and then in May we'll approve the following 6 months.
Make a motion to approve this calendar, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve the first 6 months of the 2017 licensing board calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're all set with that. The last item that I have on the agenda is the review of New Year's Eve hours. We've allowed all of the restaurant licenses that have alcohol to stay open until 2 o'clock. It's customary, this board has been doing it for as long as I've been on the board, which is about 14 years. And I'm pretty sure they've probably been doing it ever since we rolled the hours back from 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. sometime in the late 70s or early 80s did we do it?
Early 80s, late 80s.
Early 80s. Did you remember being at the Joy King at 1:30 before? You won't say what happened after that, but I'm just saying. So right now we have a 2 o'clock. That means last call would be at 1:30. All patrons have to be off the premise by 2:15. All drinks off the bar by 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
So 1:30 last call, all alcoholic beverages off the bar by 2, all patrons out of the building, out of the restaurant by 2:15. If they're gonna be there any later than that, they have to notify the police department to say that there will be people in there after those hours. 99% of the time, if it happens, it's the restaurant calling to say that we're still in here cleaning up and it's employees only there. So, with that, we do have a list of about 15 licenses that have not come into, they filled out the proper paperwork, but they haven't come in with their fee yet for the licenses. A lot of them do wait till the last minute, so we probably will get, Miss Manning will get a little bit of a rush probably on Thursday and Friday. I know that my office will be out knocking on these doors to make sure that they get their bills in so that we can renew their license and get the paperwork going through the ABCC. With that, board members, can I have a motion to waive the reading of the previous meeting?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And just say Happy New Year, everyone. Be safe. If you're gonna be out there, don't forget to,
Is that what you're second?
have a designated driver and be careful, all right? This meeting's adjourned.
If we're here at 6:30 and we